Hi DAKids! Today we're starting with an idea called real change. You're going to see some pictures on your screen of two objects, one that somehow changed to become the other. When you see these images, talk about how the first one changed to the second one. Here we have an apple and apple juice. What has to happen to an apple to make it change to apple juice? Now you see some popcorn kernels. What has to happen to these kernels to change them to the popcorn we love to eat? In today's story, we're going to learn about a man named Saul or Paul. When he was born, his parents named him Saul, which is a Hebrew name, but because his dad was a Roman citizen, he had another name too, Paul, his Latin name. So you hear Saul and Paul in the Bible talking about the same person. Saul grew up in a religious family, and he was a Jew, and he followed the law very carefully. So when Saul heard people say that a man named Jesus was the Son of God, he did not believe it. In fact, he tried to stop people from telling others about Jesus. He arrested them. He even approved of them being killed. He wanted to end the church. But he had a real change. In today's Bible story, we will hear about his conversion, which is the word that means his change to a right relationship with God. Saul was changed because he believed in Jesus. Paul's conversion and baptism is our Bible story for this week.
After Jesus died, rose from the dead, and ascended to heaven, people in Jerusalem who believed in Jesus were persecuted or treated cruelly because of their faith. One of Jesus' followers, Stephen, was even killed. A man named Saul had been there when Stephen was killed. Saul wanted to put an end to the church. He went into the believers' homes, dragged them out, and put them into jail. Many believers fled the city. Saul headed to Damascus to arrest believers there. But on the way, a bright light from heaven suddenly flashed around him. Saul fell to the ground. He heard a voice saying, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" "Who are you, Lord?" Saul asked. "I am Jesus," he replied. "Get up and go into the city. Then you will be told what you must do." Saul got up and opened his eyes, but he couldn't see. Oh, no. So the men who were traveling with Saul led him by the hand into Damascus. Ananias, a disciple of Jesus, lived in Damascus. The Lord spoke to Ananias in a vision. He told him to go to the house where Saul was staying. Ananias knew that Saul had hurt many believers in Jerusalem and that he arrested anyone who believed in Jesus. But the Lord said, "Go. I have chosen this man to take my name to Gentiles, kings, and the Israelites." Ananias obeyed the Lord. He found Saul and told Saul that Jesus had sent him to help. Ananias put his hands on Saul, and suddenly Saul could see again. Saul got up and was baptized. For the next few days, Saul stayed with the believers in Damascus. He began to go to the synagogues to preach about Jesus. Saul told the people, "Jesus is the Son of God." The people were amazed. They recognized Saul and knew he had wanted to put an end to the church and all the believers. Now he was one of them. The Jews did not like Saul's message, so they planned to kill him. Saul heard what the Jews wanted to do, so one night he left the city. The disciples helped Saul escape by lowering him down the city wall in a basket. Jesus appeared to Saul and changed him inside and out. Jesus Christ came into the world to save sinners. Jesus called Saul, also known as Paul, who was once an enemy to Christians, to spend the rest of his life telling people the gospel and leading them to trust Jesus as Lord and Savior.
God used Ananias to tell Paul about Jesus, and then he used Paul to tell many others about Jesus. How do people hear about Jesus? God uses Christians to tell others about the good news of Jesus. Jesus is the light, and we get to tell others about him.
Jesus is the one who lights our way. He gives us hope for each new day. When the world feels dark and lonely, His love illuminates. He's the one I trust and I will follow Him. He is the light that breaks through the darkness. Follow His lead and light it up. Jesus will guide us through every dark time. Follow His lead and light up the world. Jesus is the one who lights our way. He gives us hope for each new day. When the world feels dark and lonely, His love illuminates. He's the one I trust and I will follow Him. He is the light that breaks through the darkness. Follow His lead and light it up. Jesus will guide us through every dark time. Follow His lead and light up the world. I'm gonna follow Jesus wherever He will lead me. I'm gonna follow Jesus all the way. I'm gonna follow Jesus wherever He will lead me. I'm gonna follow Jesus all the way. He is the light that breaks through the darkness. Follow His lead and light it up. Jesus will guide us through every dark time. Follow His lead and light up the world. Light up the world. Light up the world. your silent flocks by night. Behold, throughout the heavens, there shone a holy light. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. The shepherds feared and trembled when low above the earth rang out the angel chorus that hailed our Savior's birth. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born.
Down in a lonely manger, the humble Christ was born, and God sent us salvation that blessed Christmas morn.
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born.